Hi, my name is Ian, and thank you for meeting me. Thank you for meeting with me today. So, first question: are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?
I'm a Democrat.
Oh, okay. How long?
You're not going to hold that against me now, are you, Ian?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
How long have you been county executive?
I'm starting my 5th year.
Oh, wow. As Allegheny County Executive, what are your duties and what does an average day look like?
Well, first of all, there probably really isn't an average day. Every day is really different depending on what we have to deal with. But county government in general deals with things like human services, people that are homeless or drug and alcohol addicted or have other children and youth families, things like that. We also run the jail. The county jail is under the county's auspices. We run the county airport and the Pittsburgh International Airport. We run the Port Authority, transit agencies. We have a big park system. We have about 12,000 acres of parkland that's in our 9 county parks, North Park and South Park and Deer Lakes Park and Round Hill Park, etc. We have a lot of county roads. We have 400 miles of county roads that we have to take care of, and 500 bridges that are part of our bridge maintenance program. So we run 4 nursing homes, Kane hospitals that people are aware of, are under the Allegheny County auspices. So there's a lot of things that the county is involved with. We do a lot of economic development. A lot of the jobs we try to bring into Pittsburgh and grow here in the Pittsburgh region are part of county government. My average day is I meet with a lot of people all day long. There's different organizations that have different needs, and they might come into the office here, or we may go out and visit them. There's a lot of special events that occur throughout the region, and I'll have to be there in my official duties. And sometimes during this time, we have all these presidential candidates coming to town before the presidential primary. So, whether it's Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, the people that come here, we've got to provide some security. And sometimes on the political side, I would be there with, say, someone like Hillary Clinton, who I'm supporting for president.
Are you like the president of Allegheny County?
I think that's a good analogy, because most governments, the way our government is set up is we have 3 branches. We have an executive branch, a legislative branch,
and a judicial branch.
Exactly, and a judicial branch. So the judges are independent. We have 43 judges in Allegheny County that make up Common Pleas Court. And then we have a legislative branch called County Council. They're like the Congress would be at the federal level. And then there's the executive branch, which was like the president is at the federal level, or the governor is at the state level, and the county executive is at the county level.
In Washington, the president has trouble getting along with Congress. How do you get along with county council?
Very good. There's 15 members of county council. Probably it's fortunate for me that the Democrats are in the majority. We have 10 Democrats and 5 Republicans. But we have a pretty good relationship. I did the first 4 years. This year as my second term. It's a new council that came in. I think there's about 5 new council members. And so far it's been a very good, productive relationship, and we've gotten a lot of things done.
What are some of the biggest challenges Allegheny County faces right now, and how can they be addressed?
Well, we have a couple challenges. One of them is we're growing again. For about 30 years, Western Pennsylvania and Allegheny County was losing young people. Young people were moving away because there weren't jobs and opportunities. That has turned around over the last few years, and we have a lot of young people that are moving in. So we have a lot more growth and traffic. We've got to deal with more congestion, and we have an older city and older infrastructure with roads and water lines and sewer lines, and we've got to do a lot of maintenance and repairs and investment in fixing those things up. We also, with the new jobs and the new opportunities that are coming in, not everybody has the education level or skill level to get those jobs. So in certain communities, things aren't going very well. So we've got to figure out a way to provide opportunities for people who have kind of been left behind over the last few years. And I don't think we're any different than other parts of the country, and I think you're seeing that play out on the presidential elections with both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. So those are some of our biggest challenges.
Who's the most interesting and famous person or people you've ever met?
Oh boy. Well, at the political side, I've had, because of my position as county executive, I've had the opportunity to meet President Obama, former President Clinton, folks like that. We have a lot of famous people in town, like Bishop Zubik, some of our sports figures, some of the entertainers who come through and make movies here. There's a lot of famous people. Right now we happen to have an actor named Denzel Washington who's making a movie right here in our courthouse. So he kind of walks around the courthouse just like everybody else, and people say, wow, look at Denzel Washington, he's in our courthouse making a movie. So because Pittsburgh makes so many movies and has over the last couple of years, we get some of those famous Hollywood people that come here.
Have you ever met Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, and which one do you like better?
Well, I've met Hillary Clinton. I have not met Senator Sanders, and I've been a Hillary Clinton supporter for a long time. So I guess I like her better, but I like them both. But I'm supporting her for president.
Do you know any of the Steelers?
Yes, I've gotten to meet a few of the Steelers over the years. I probably know more former Steelers or retired Steelers who still are very active in the community with a lot of different events. But I've gotten to meet some of the current Steelers as well as Coach Tomlin and General Manager Colbert and the Rooney family.
Oh, what are some jobs you had before becoming county executive?
Well, I spent 30 years as an engineer. I had an engineering company that I did where I provided engineering services for industrial users in Western Pennsylvania. But when I was in college, I was a cab driver, and that was a pretty fun job. I loved that job. I got to learn the city, driving around and learning all the streets. I've had jobs in restaurants. I've had jobs. I worked for a moving company when I was in high school, moving furniture. One summer, I worked as a lifeguard. I've worked a lot of different jobs when I was younger in high school and in college.
When does your current term expire?
It expires in, 2019. So it's a 4-year term. I just began this year, and that would be the end of my second term, and I'm allowed to go 3 terms. We have a 3-term limit. So if the voters will have me, I think I'm going to go 1 more term in 2019.
Is there something else you'd like to do after your term expires?
Well, I'd like to run for re-election. So I guess, so in 2019, at least my plans now, if my health is good and everything, remains how I think it will, I'd like to run for a 3rd term. And then after the 3rd term, I would be term limited, so I couldn't run again. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do at that point. That's about 7 years away, so it's tough for me to look that far into the future.
What's it like having 8 children?
Busy. And it was very busy as they were growing up. Now the youngest is away at college, so my wife and I are home by ourselves most times. But when they were all growing up, there was a lot of activity with their school things, with their sports things, with different interests that they had, and friends over the house, and all that kind of stuff. It was a busy house for many, many years.
If you ever have any spare time, what do you like to do for fun?
Well, I like to work, so I enjoy work. I enjoy doing this job and going to different events and meeting people all over the county. But when I'm home, I'm usually watching a game, maybe watching a Penguins game now that they're in the playoffs, or watching the Pirates or the Steelers, or I like to ride my bike. My daughter and I and my wife, we often go out and ride some of the trails along the riverfront. I like to do that. What I like is I really like the job that I do, and I like to go out and meet folks like yourself, go to different community events and and see what's going on in all the great neighborhoods we have here in Allegheny County.
Thank you for your time.
Do you have any other questions? Yeah, that's good questions. I like those.
Thanks.
Yeah, they weren't too hard. I mean, they weren't too difficult, I guess is the way to say it. I'm glad you didn't ask, like, what's the budget for, you know, the Public Works Department, because I'd have to look it up and I wouldn't have that answer. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm not sure.
Yeah? You're about 7 years away from that too, right? You're 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be 18, so we'll both be getting at the end around the same time, and you'll be thinking about what you're going to do, you know, go on to school or, you know, learn a profession or whatever.
So should we stop recording?
It's up to you.
Let's stop.
Okay.